What is happening, y'all? Cowboy here, and welcome back to another how-to wilds guide. And today we are taking a look at the bow. The bow is a really fun weapon, and if you want to try out ranged combat in Monster Hunter, I do think it is a little bit more approachable compared to bow guns. You don't need to worry about crafting ammo and all the various ammo types. The bow is very self-contained, and the only thing you really need to get it up and running are a couple of stamina skills. But before I dive into the bow, I do want to say this is a weapon that has a very high skill ceiling because of the stamina management. We got some really nice things in wilds to help with that. In particular, our move that's known as the charging sidestep, that now will completely refill our stamina if we do a perfect dodge with it, kind of similar to how the dual blades get a buff on the perfect dodge. So that definitely helps our case here, but it's still a trickier weapon to master, but one that is very rewarding and a lot of fun to play. Now, before we jump right into the bow, I do want to talk about focus mode controls. I've had a lot of questions about this. For melee, I like to play with toggle. This is just page 2 under controls. For ranged, I like it on hold. And what this means is that if I'm holding right trigger, the weapon is just out. If I hold left trigger, I'm now aiming it. If I let go of that, I have regular movement, I have rolling. If I'm aiming, I got the charging sidestep. But I just think it makes a lot more sense to have it on hold versus toggle when it comes to ranged weapons. So I wanted to put that out there. Now, when it comes to playing the bow or any ranged weapon, the first and most important thing is going to be what's known as critical range. You can see how I have a orange reticle on this guy right now, and as I get further back, it's going to go away from orange. That's known as the critical range. So right now, out of range, you can see I'm getting 1, I got 4 there, and you can see as I'm starting to get closer to the monster, where it's all orange, you can see now the damage is hitting 7s. If I hit the head, it's weaker, but you can see that if it's orange, I'm hitting the true damage that I want. And so this is the critical distance. Now, there are skills that can increase this, but the point is when you're playing the bow, or the bow guns for that matter, you want to maintain the critical distance that you need for your arrows to do maximum damage. Because if you're not, you're going to be getting a bunch of little 1s and 2s, and you're going to be like, yo, why is my damage so bad? This is so disappointing. And I think that's a rookie mistake a lot of people make. When it comes to the bow, you do 1 arrow, then 2, then 3. This is known as the bow charge. You're always at max charge when you let your arm kind of fly back. So if you look at his right arm on the shots, little shoot, big shot. And ideally, we want to maintain level 3 charge. Now, we can do this with the charging sidestep by hitting X. So if I do that, you can see how each of these shots, I'm continuing to shoot out 3 arrows, and that is what you want. Now, beyond that, we can also chain into our power shots. If I was to hit circle, I would do a quick shot into a power shot into a power volley. But if we are already at max bow charge, we'll do that straight into the power shot, straight into the power volley, and I could go into something like 1,000 dragons, and then from there, you know, back into the level 3 shots. And the point is we're doing everything we can to maintain that higher level of shots. Later in the game, there's probably going to be something called Mighty Bow, which will take up it'll give you a 4th level of shots, making your arrows hit even stronger. But the point is a higher level of charge means you're getting more arrows for the same cost. So it's just more damage for free as long as you can maintain it. And that's kind of the nuance of playing bow, is making sure that you're staying at that higher level and watching your stamina so that you don't bottom out, and maintaining that level to get as much damage as possible out of your arrows. Now, besides that, a couple other things. While we are aiming now, if we hit circle, we're going to do what's known as a arc shot. This will rain down a bunch of arrows into the target and put what's known as fuse arrows in them. Fuse arrows can be locked onto with our focus fire attack. Just to show that, we'll go up on one of these dudes right here and do the arc shot. Let that loose. And you can see he has little arrows in his back now. So if I go to this, notice the little reticles, how there's 3 little triangles. Once I have 3, I let that loose, and it's going to do a volley of arrows that are going to track in on that target and mess them up. Now, as with all other aim shots, ideally you want to use this when you already have a wound on the target. But the case here is we would do that. Let's say there's already a wound on the target. He's going to get the fuse arrows. I'm going to wait for those fuse arrows. Ideally, I get all 3 triangles lit up, and then I let it loose, and I'm going to hit 3 different fuse arrows with that, as well as a weak point on the target, and then I'm going to follow up with a free dragon piercer and do a bunch of damage. Very flashy, very good. Besides that, if we were to hit square, we will load up what's known as a tracer arrow, and this is another thing that is new in wilds. Once the tracer arrows in the targets any arrows I shoot are going to go towards that tracer arrow, which is very, very nice because not only are you consistently hitting the weak point on your target, but we can use that to make wounds easier because wounds in general are created from continually hitting the same point. So make sure you don't sleep on your tracer arrows. Besides that, talking about coating briefly, coating is going to come depending on your bow. This one happens to have poison and power. If you tap triangle, you can see the coatings are now loaded. They're there right under my reticle. And any arrow shot is going to use those except for your tracer arrows and your arc shots. So just keep an eye on that little thing right below the reticle, and anytime it gets low, hit triangle and reload it. That's one of the hardest changes here, because now we have infinite coatings in Wilds, and we didn't in the previous game, so I'm still struggling to constantly maintain that coating up as well. Besides that, our charging step we already talked about. Not only can this be used to maintain charge and dodge, but it can also refill your stamina if you perfectly time that to dodge an enemy, which is quite good. And then on top of that, out of that, if we are to hit triangle, we'll do what's known as a flying swallow shot, which is just kind of like some extra mobility. So if it's a big attack coming and you're like, I got to get the hell away from here, you can jump away and get in some extra arrows, which is quite nice. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to bow. You know, the biggest thing here is managing your stamina. A typical rotation on an enemy, I might be at like level 3. I would get a tracer shot in them. I would shoot. I'd probably go to a power shot. I'd probably go to a power volley. And then I would try to fit in 1,000 dragons. And then if the tracer still hasn't popped, I'll add in another level 3 shot or do another power shot or whatever the case is. But the gist here is just, you know, maintain that level 3 charge. Keep an eye on your stamina. Try and get perfect dodges to refill your stamina. And then if you can, you want to try and have those fuse arrows from your arc shot already in the target prior to the target having a weak point. Because one thing I've noticed the more I've played bow is if I wait until the target has a weak point and then I'm doing my arc shot to make those fuse arrows, there's a chance they could pop the weak point. And when you use your R1, your hailstorm, on top of a target that already has a weak point, you're going to get a free Dragon Piercer follow-up. So always keep that in mind. You want to try and just maintain those fuse arrows in the target, and then the weak point pops up. That's when you go and you do your nuke. So let's go ahead and get a hunt going. I talked about how stamina skills are important in the demo. We can actually get Stamina Surge level 3, so I will talk about that on the way on over to the hunt. But stamina skills are huge for bow. So Stamina Surge level 3 should be like your first priority if this is a weapon you want to start maining, whereas other weapons tend to gravitate towards damage. You know, your damage comes from your stamina. Having more stamina means more shooting, so always take care of your stamina. Also, obviously, always make sure to eat before you're on a hunt. But if we go over to equipment info for those that are jumping in, Balahara Mail, Katakabra Van Braces, and Hope Coil is going to give you Stamina Surge level 3, which will be 50% extra stamina regen, which is very, very nice with the bow. Let's swing on over. As for the mounting attack with the bow, it's pretty tricky to pull it off consistently, so I wouldn't worry that much about it. You can do a little jumping melee attack, but it takes a lot of those to really get things going. So now that I have the little 10s, that means he's already poisoned. Go ahead and get power coating on. I'm gonna get my fuse arrows in him. Let it rip. And that's what I'm talking about with getting those fuse arrows and then hitting that weak spot. Anytime the monster's down, that's a great opportunity for you to get even more. You can see we're just bullying him right now with this. Oh, here comes another one. Poor little froggy boy. And so all we're doing here, as long as he has a weak point, we're just making sure we get our arrows in. And otherwise, we're just kind of dancing around, you know. We do this, we get a knockdown on him. So we'll probably get a knockdown. Nope, no knockdown. Now refill our coatings, dash back. Tracer arrow. Remember, your tracers are a great way to generate weak points because we're consistently hitting the same spot with that tracer arrow. Gonna charge that up before I hit it. Dodged a little bit too early there. And you can get a little lazy with bow from time to time if you want. Blow thinks he's running. Yeah, it's dignity. He left it behind. Gonna take a nap, buddy? Keep forgetting to maintain my coating. Oh, he's already... he's probably dead here. I see. Anytime he has a weak point, I'm gonna try and get those tracer arrows. And if I can't, even if I just hit the one weak point, it's still gonna be big damage. And down he goes. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun to play. I think hitting those weak point and tracer arrow lineups, like just like boom, you see all the explosions popping off, all the arrows tracking. Very, very satisfying weapon. And like I said, one of the nice things about this, if you're interested in range plays, when it comes to bow guns, you're usually building for, you're crafting all your different ammo, you're managing all your different ammo. I like bow guns a lot, but there's definitely a lot more like setup that go into them. Whereas with how bows are designed here, like you don't even need to bring your coatings, they're just built in. So, slap on some pants with stamina surge and like you're kind of ready to go, So, yeah, bows are looking very, very good in wilds. They're beginner friendly but difficult to master with your stamina. But I think the stamina refill on perfect dodge is definitely helping to mitigate some of the concerns that new players might have with this weapon with stamina management. But it's really fun, a lot of high damage potential, and like I said, it goes very well with elemental as well. So we're gonna wrap this one up here. I'm gonna try and get out Charge Blade as well as Sword and Shield before the beta goes down, and then when it comes back up on PC, I'll jump back in and start getting more of these guides done. So thanks for coming by, and I'll catch you soon with more.